In his show Last Week Tonight that was uploaded on February 23, 2020, comedian John Oliver recently had a trending show revolving around Prime Minister Modi and India. However, not only did he use an incorrect map of India, he also managed to use sources that had already been pointed out for inaccuracy and linked occurrences without proper context. Hi, I'm Priyanka from New India Junction, and this video is a breakdown of what was missing from John Oliver's report. Let's have a look. Number 1, the Gujarat riots. John Oliver referenced the 2002 Gujarat riots where he points out how Prime Minister Modi was denied a visa by the United Kingdom and the USA. The Gujarat riots were sparked by a horrific incident, the death of 59 pilgrims trapped in a train returning from Ayodhya back in 2002. But in reality, first of all, a Supreme Court appointed and monitored a special investigation team. The team found no connection, I repeat, no connection between Prime Minister Modi, who was at that time Chief Minister of Gujarat, and the riots. To add to that, Oliver added that it was just not okay to be silent on this issue in terms of Prime Minister Modi, but he has left out the fact that the Prime Minister has spoken out on the issue. Prime Minister Modi has said, and I quote, "Grief, sadness, misery, pain, anguish, agony. Mere words could not capture the absolute emptiness one felt on witnessing such inhumanity." Modi continues, "In decisively confronting this great turmoil, I had to single-mindedly focus all the strength given to me by the Almighty on the task of peace, justice, and rehabilitation, bearing the pain and agony I was personally racked with." Number 2, persecuted minorities. John Oliver says that under Prime Minister Modi, there has been an increasing and steady increase and escalation of persecution of religious minorities. He claims that Modi is an increasing, and I quote, "controversial figure in India because of this." But as per statistics from the National Crime Records Bureau, communal and religious crimes have seen a steady and significant decline under the Modi government. Contrast this with over 1,200 incidents in 2014. That number is almost slashed in half as of 2018 if you see the chart. To add to that, the Modi government has made specific efforts to modernize education so that economically weaker Muslim children are better equipped and skilled for jobs. There are financial incentives for Muslim girls, and even things like air travel for Hajj, that's the Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca, has been reduced significantly under the Modi government. The cost, previously Hajj cost approximately 97,000 rupees, that's just over $1,350 US. Now the cost is only 20,000 rupees, that is just $278.69. That's under PM Modi. Number 3, the CAA, the NRC, and the NPR. Speaking of persecuted minorities, Oliver then highlights the misinformed narrative of the CAA, NPR, and the NRC. Now, the Citizenship Amendment Act is aimed towards refugees. It does not affect citizens of India. It actually helps refugees out. It fast-tracks the citizenship process of persecuted religious minorities from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. The logic for why Muslims are not included in the list of religiously persecuted minorities is simple. The CAA only and only applies to refugees in 3 countries: Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. These countries are Islamic republics, therefore Muslims in these countries are not the persecuted minority. This is an internationally recognized fact. And if John Oliver is speaking about the CAA making Muslims stateless, well, first of all, the CAA has nothing to do with Indian citizens, including Muslims carrying an Indian passport and paperwork. And second of all, I actually met the Muslim refugees who have been saved by this act and are now free citizens in India. Here's what they have to say. Let's have a look.
हमारी पढ़ाई लिखाई नहीं होती थी, कुछ भी वैसे हमारा जैसे जीने का कोई अधिकार ही नहीं था। हिंदुस्तान में आके हमारे को इतना अधिकार मिला जैसे जी रहे हैं।
जो भारत के नहीं हैं, जो छुपे हुए हैं, उनका ये मसला बढ़ा रहे हैं, जो ये गाड़ियां जला रहे हैं, दंगा फैल रहे हैं, ताकि हमें नागरिकता मिलने से उनका पर्दाफाश हो सकता है।
Now the next thing John Oliver does is tie in the NPR and the NRC to the CAA. So let's break that down as well. The NPR is a regular exercise of the country. It's very similar to the USA census. The last NPR was conducted in India in 2010. By the way, this was when PM Modi was not even the Prime Minister yet. And the purpose of it, like census information gathering in the USA, is to ensure that India, like other countries, has a record of its demographics and its citizens. Why is an NPR needed? Well, the same reason census information is needed. A record helps research and also helps the government serve targeted and more effective services to the people. And regarding the NRC that John Oliver talks about and tries to tie into the NPR and the CAA, he leaves out the very simple fact that there has been no official NRC announced. This means that it does not exist. So why does NRC even come up? Misinformed CAA protesters are mixing it with the NRC of Assam that was issued by the Supreme Court, and this was because the state of Assam had constantly dealt with issues of illegal immigration for decades now. And as for detention camps were set up by the Congress government to deport illegal immigrants under the Assam NRC, but this was only under this instance and an exceptional case to deal with a prevailing problem in a state. And speaking of misinformed, let's just take a look at some of the knowledgeable anti-CAA protesters out there. Have a look.
So we are here together to protest the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, which is very discriminatory.
Can you explain how is it discriminatory? आप लोग इस प्रोटेस्ट में क्यों आए हैं?
प्रोटेक्शन करने के लिए आयन के लिए।
किन के लिए?
राहुल गांधी जी के लिए।
अच्छा, क्या चीज़ का प्रोटेस्ट है?
कि जो विवाद चल रहा है इनको खत्म किया जाए।
कौन सा विवाद?
ये हिंदू मुस्लिम जो हिंदू मुस्लिम बांट रखे हैं इधर इधर।
मैम यहाँ पे हम इसलिए आए था कि इतनी सारी पब्लिक सिटी है, मतलब यहाँ
बीजेपी के बारे में जानते हो?
हाँ मैम।
NRC?
नहीं मैम।
एक बार बोलो क्या लिखा है इस पे?
बीजेपी को बढ़ाना है।
अच्छा, आप यहाँ पे क्यों आए हो भैया?
ये तो मुझे पता नहीं है।
They don't even know why they are there. What John Oliver is trying to incite is that Muslims could be put in detention camps because of the NRC, but the reality is that there are no detention camps under Prime Minister Modi in the country for this purpose. Number 4, let's take a look at the other flaws of John Oliver's piece. He first of all uses an incorrect map of India right at the beginning, with a part of Kashmir illegally occupied by Pakistan cut off. I mean, John, really, simply Googling a correct map of India gives you a plethora of accurate options. Next, if you notice, all of Oliver's video reporting footage is either from NDTV, that's a well-known left-leaning TV channel in India, or from Al Jazeera, who is funded by the state of Qatar and has been criticized internationally for biased reporting, or from BBC, again a channel that has been repeatedly criticized for covering conflicts in South Asia with an anti-India bias. Oliver also talks about the RSS and claims that this organization is inspired by Adolf Hitler. The Nazi ideology was to conquer all foreign lands and eliminate all Jews. Oliver is inciting that RSS ideology is similar to that of Nazis towards Muslims. But in reality, 2018 estimates have shown a significant % increase of the Muslim population. To add to that, not only has Prime Minister Modi been verbose about his non-partisan stance, he's also proven it. His huge successes in welfare schemes like implementing electricity and LPG connections are available for everyone without discrimination. And today, under Prime Minister Modi, India has the strongest bilateral relations than ever before with Islamic countries like Palestine, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Jordan. The Maldives and Bahrain have also bestowed their highest civil honors on Prime Minister Modi. Over the last 5 years, many Indian prisoners have been released by Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain under PM Modi, and business relations with Bangladesh have also significantly improved. Let's keep in mind, John Oliver is fundamentally an entertainer, not a legit journalist nor accredited academic. His show comprises of simplified one-liners without full context, that too for a niche audience. This is not just this show, this is all of his shows. Hey, just like you and I, that works for him and gets him his paycheck. He puts out an entertaining show, people watch, that's his job. But it becomes a problem if you start believing it as fact. So I implore you to deep dive into statements made and the evidence that is used and quoted, not just for John Oliver, but for any content that you consume. Research the proper context and then derive your own conclusions. In the meantime, consume a comedian like John Oliver's content in the way that it is meant to be consumed. Comedy. For New India Junction, this is Priyanka signing off.